James Crean's the kind of guy who's got one or two stashed in his coat, I'll bet. How are you, sir?
Well, I actually have a lot of coins in my pocket. I don't know if we can hear
That's
that.
still good. Let's start with the last man standing in the Republican presidential race. Donald Trump apparently knocked out the competition.
Has a few $500 notes himself.
One or two, yes.
In any case, New York Daily News this morning is renaming the GOP, the Republican Party.
The Grand Old Party.
The Grand Old Funeral. Because there's so
seriously?
much division now over the fact that Donald Trump is the de facto nominee, and a lot of kind of Republican Party faithful wouldn't really have chosen Donald Trump. He wouldn't represent a lot of their conservative politics. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to mourn the GOP, a once great political party killed by the epidemic of Trump. Now, it is interesting to see that a lot of these hashtag never Trump comments were coming from GOP Republican Party members. Pigs may fly, hell may freeze over, and a lifelong GOP-er, will never unite behind the orange menace. I suppose we don't need to scratch our heads too much.
To his makeup.
Right, indeed. Or perhaps his hair. Some Republicans are burning with their registration cards. There's also been that. That's a pretty strong sign of protest. Adios, says this particular Twitter user, while burning her plastic card. Not very good for the environment, that. But anyway, Never Trump means just that. And actually what then happened was, after Ted Cruz pulled out, the Never Trump Brigade became the Never Ever Ever Trump Brigade. So you had nevers accumulating, and even a prayer in that tweet. So, yeah.
It's all well and good. None of it's stopped him. None of it's going to stop him, is it? You know?
Tweets tend not to stop much. In any case, here's Hillary Clinton, because she's benefiting from this now. Never Trump is becoming, for some, I'm with her. Now, again, unsurprising for some Twitter users who are probably already maybe Democratic Party fans, and this is the kind of the clear perspective here. This is the only person between Donald Trump and the Oval Office. Get your popcorn, I'm with her. But also a former senior aide to John McCain. Of course, we remember he ran for the presidency for the Republican Party, has now come out and said, I'm with her. Why? Because she is not temperamentally unfit for office, unlike Donald Trump, according to his perspective. And he says, look, Hillary is actually more conservative when it comes down to it, and she will be a disappointment, but from his perspective, but she's at least, fit for office.
Next, the question, how did Trump ever become a contender for the Republican Party, given everybody in the Republican Party seems to hate his existence?
I think it has something to do with Marcus
cash?
Carlson's $500 notes.
Is it all about the $500 notes, Marcus? That's what it is. It's what is it? How did it happen?
Well, I think it is. I think a lot of it's money and the shock factor. But there is Bernie hanging on in there. Hashtag feel the burn. And you have videos such as this mindfulness background music for feeling the burn properly. So Bernie fans are really, really not happy about this Trump versus Hillary dichotomy. So there you go. I'm not sure that's going to convince anyone, but it's
funny, isn't it?
It's doing what
Feel the burn.
It's designed to do. Now, there is an interesting point here in the midst of all of this, because Hillary is being presented as the inevitable candidate for the Democratic Party. But if you look at polls, and this is thehill.com, which has put together a poll average, if you ask people who would you vote for between Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, he wins by a massive margin.
Sorry, who?
Bernie Sanders, rather. So,
seriously?
So by at least 14 points, which is, as far as I'm aware, more than the margin of Hillary Clinton versus...
That's interesting.
So it is an interesting factor, and it's one that isn't being talked about a huge amount. And according to this article in thehill.com, major media should give Sanders more coverage than he is receiving in comparison to Donald Trump. And whenever Trump appears in interviews in the media, he should be asked why he believes Bernie Sanders would beat him by such a margin. So, again, it's that same old refrain coming back that Donald Trump is the media favourite because he's such a sort of
because he knows
character.
He knows how to manipulate the media.
Exactly.
He manipulates us all.
And Sanders seems to be the overwhelming favourite of voters in a potential campaign against Trump. In any case, that doesn't necessarily mean he will get the nomination on the Democratic
Get your popcorn, the best advice in that entire slot. Thank you very much indeed, because there's a lot to watch.
There is indeed. Yeah.
Great. James, thank you very much indeed. Great to see you. Thanks to Marcus as well for the business. Good to see you, sir. Let's get Canada's €500 notes before they're taken office. Send them to us. Stay with us, more news to come.